Mike, and welcome to Retro Boost. High Dynamic Range, HDR. I'm sure you've seen that somewhere, whether you've seen it advertised or you have HDR content that you've seen. What is HDR? Well, High Dynamic Range. It's usually paired with 4K resolution, so 4K HDR refers to the color and contrast. HDR is expanded color and contrast, brighter brights, deeper darks. There's multiple kinds of HDR out there that you'll see between all the different brands of television and devices. HDR10 is the most widely available. Dolby Vision is considered the best, so it's out there. Appeared back in like 2015, it's been growing ever since. It grew to the gaming world when the Xbox One X and PS4 Pro kind of hit the scene, like 2017-ish territory. HDR started appearing in gaming and has only grown even more since. But one place you don't see HDR is retro games, right? You will, kind of. The 5X Pro got an interesting new trick up its sleeve in a recent firmware update. Take the word recent with a grain of salt, I'm kind of late to this one. I've been playing with this feature though a lot recently, want to talk about it. And that's the ability for the 5X Pro to inject an HDR Signal Flag in its output, which tricks your television into thinking that the content it's getting is a high dynamic range source. The benefit to which is the television will switch into its like HDR picture modes, allowing for that expanded brightness, which is really good for CRT emulation specifically. So that's today's topic, going over the HDR features of the 5X Pro. If you find the video helpful or informative, feel free to subscribe. It is the best way to help me grow the channel. Additionally, the server for the channel on Discord is now live. We come in, hang out there, talk about gaming, movies, and even videos like this one go there first, early, to be viewed before they go live on YouTube. We're also going to be doing a bit of a celebratory kind of giveaway. A digital copy of the Super Mario Bros. Movie could be yours if you join the channel. So hey, thanks for watching though. Don't join, it's cool, I get it, it's fine. I appreciate you having here though, honestly. So let's start talking about what this HDR signal flagging does. So let me first show this live in front of my actual television. Normally I would show capture footage, but just want to show off a couple of details here first. So playing my NES, wiring it directly to my receiver that goes to my TV, so bypassing all my capture stuff. We can see what the 5X Pro looks like here on my TV. When I go into the 5X Pro's settings, the HDMI settings, that's where you'll find this new HDR feature. You can toggle between multiple HDR types. There's HDR10 and then HLG, Hybrid Log Gamma. HDR10 is like the most widely supported HDR format. Hybrid Log Gamma was actually designed for broadcasting 4K HDR content and has very little support, although down the road it might become one of the bigger ones. Anyway, so we change to HDR10 and we can see that we lose picture for a second as everything processes, and now we're in, the TV is in like an HDR picture mode. The colors do look like more saturated, like there's definitely a change to how they look. Whether or not that's better is definitely subjective, person to person, and this feature that the 5X Pro has is not intended to use as I'm showing, but the purpose of this is to show, yes, the TV settings indicate that it thinks this is an HDR source. We can see it says HDR above the picture mode that it's in, and we can also see that the gamma settings have changed to one that's for a high dynamic range like color space. So it definitely works. The television here thinks, and the receiver for that matter, thinks that this is a HDR source. The benefit to being now we have access to a brighter picture mode to play with. The point of that would be to crank up the 5X Pros like Gamma in a scanline setting and achieve something closer to what a CRT would actually look like. So that's the point. So what we're going to do now is I'll show you side-by-sides of a variety of game consoles. First, we'll do it kind of what I'm going to call naked. So just standard against standard with high dynamic range to kind of show what the initial differences give you. Because I have seen a lot of people that like just turning it on and what it does for the picture. That's what started me looking at this. Then I'll also do scanlines. The aperture grill, the scanline preset, standard and then with HDR10 turned on. For the standard, leaving the settings mostly untouched, the gamma's not touched, increase the scanline strength to 5. For the HDR example, same thing, strength to 5, but then gamma set to 10. And for the naked examples, the gamma is set to 0. And that's just to provide a baseline to go for. Now, big disclaimer, this should not be interpreted as the definitive, this is what it's going to look like. HDR is going to be different depending on your television settings, the brand of TV. There are so many variables here. Additionally, there's like a million different settings that you can enable with the 5X Pro, so none of this should be treated as a definitive, here's what it looks like or should look like or whatever. There's so much to play around with. I just want this to be like a baseline to understand the differences between regular and with that flag enabled, and then Scanlines with the flag enabled. So just a way to appreciate what this can do. So with that said, let's show off a variety of consoles. Everything for the most part here is 1080p fill generic sampling, sharp for the 2D consoles, soft for some of the 3D consoles. For a lot of them though, sharp with Scanlines I like quite a bit and kind of left that on. So like N64 for example, the Scanline demos have sharp sampling. But for the most part, it's like I said, sharp for 2D, soft for 3D. The PlayStation 1 is going to be 512 sampling, since the game is a 512 game. Everything else, 4x3. Again, not trying to get too fancy, just to show off the baseline of what this HDR feature can do. So now, here we go. Here's a bunch of side-by-sides of a variety of consoles.
Message from General Pepper. Priority 1. We need your help, Star Fox. Andross has declared war. He's invaded the Lilac system and is trying to take over Corneria. Our army alone can't do the job. Hurry, Starbuck! It's about time you showed up, Fox. You're the only hope for our world.
I'll do my best. Andros won't have his way with me.
Good luck.
Open the wings. Check your diffuser system.
Falco here. I'm fine.
This is Peppy. All systems go.
Flippy here. I'm okay.
I see him up ahead. Let's rock and roll.
Message from General Pepper. Priority 1. We need your help, Starbuck. Andros has declared war. He's invaded the Lilac system and is trying to take over Corneria. Our army alone can't do the job. Hurry, Starbuck. It's about time you showed up, Fox. You're the only hope for our world.
I'll do my best. Andros won't have his way with me.
Good luck.
Open the wings. Check your diffuser system.
Falco here. I'm fine.
Hippy peppy, all systems go.
Flipping here. I'm okay.
I see him up ahead. Let's rock and roll.
Is it working, Professor?
Almost. Just a few more adjustments to these orbs and...
Maybe this isn't such a good idea. Bringing a dragon here could just make Ripto angrier.
Calm down, Hunter, and stop fidgeting.
But you saw the professor's book. They have claws like this, teeth like this, and they spit fire like this. Puh, puh. They sound much more dangerous than Ripto.
That's exactly the point. A dragon is our only chance of stopping Ripto, and you know it.
It's working! It's working! I've got a dragon! Whoa, rough landing. Hi, which way's the... beach? Hey, stop staring. Haven't you guys ever seen a dragon before?
You're a dragon?
You got a problem with that, pussycat?
Well, someone forgot to invite me to the party. Were you trying to keep something from me? A dragon? You brought a dragon to Avalar? I hate dragons! Gah! Ow! Crush! Kill it! Kill it! Go! You imbecile! You ate my scepter! I'll deal with you later!
Who is that jerk?
That was Ripto, and we have to get rid of him. He's causing all sorts of trouble around here, but I haven't got time to explain. Here, take this magic guide to Avalar. It'll help you begin to understand our worlds. Right now, I have to follow Ripto and see what he's up to. I'll meet you in Summer Forest, okay?
Hey, wait a minute! How do we get ourselves into these messes, pal?
Is it working, Professor?
Almost. Just a few more adjustments to these orbs and...
Maybe this isn't such a good idea. Bringing a dragon here could just make Ripto angrier.
Calm down, Hunter, and stop fidgeting.
But you saw the professor's book. They have claws like this, teeth like this, and they spit fire like this. Puh, puh. They sound much more dangerous than Ripto.
That's exactly the point. A dragon is our only chance of stopping Ripto, and you know it.
It's working! It's working! I've got a dragon! Whoa, rough landing. Hi, which way's the... beach? Hey, stop staring. Haven't you guys ever seen a dragon before?
You're a dragon?
You got a problem with that, pussycat?
Well, someone forgot to invite me to the party. Were you trying to keep something from me? A dragon? You brought a dragon to Avalar? I hate dragons! Gah! Ow! Crush! Kill it! Kill it! You imbecile! You ate my scepter! I'll deal with you later!
Who is that jerk?
That was Ripto, and we have to get rid of him. He's causing all sorts of trouble around here, but I haven't got time to explain. Here, take this magic guide to Avalar. It'll help you begin to understand our worlds. Right now, I have to follow Ripto and see what he's up to. I'll meet you in Summer Forest, okay?
Hey, wait a minute! How do we get ourselves into these messes, pal?
Oi, Guff!
Oi, Guff!
Alright, lot of stuff going on there. Which ones do you think benefit the most from HDR? Which ones do they look like crap with HDR? I'm curious to hear your thoughts and if you use this feature yourselves. So for me, I think the NES is one that I will definitely use this with going forward, like for sure. I love what it does to the color with Scanlines. I think it looks great. N64, also, I think with HDR and Scanlines is quite awesome. I like it a lot. The rest, I personally could take or leave. I think the 5X Pro does a good enough or even great job for the other consoles, and I don't feel the need for Scanlines or HDR with Scanlines for that matter. It's just like, I've said it before, like I didn't grow up like understanding what I had lost in regard to like CRT televisions. So I haven't pined to emulate them when I started playing with these RetroTINK devices. So for me, it's not like a necessity. So that's kind of why. That said, I'm coming around to it because I really, really like what the NES and N64, what they get from this feature here, being able to crank that brightness up and like maintain that stuff with Scanlines is really, really cool. Because that's the point, is by turning on HDR and enabling Scanlines, you don't lose brightness with the Scanlines. I mean, yeah, you could jack up like your TV's brightness, but that's not the same thing. Having that base brightness be higher before the Scanlines are added really helps. It's very clear that it helps. Now, for some consoles, I think it's not necessary or doesn't really add anything significant to that Scanlines alone wouldn't already. Like for GameCube and PS2, I put them there just to see. I was curious, but largely it didn't blow me away personally. Now, that's what kind of started all this though. I saw someone who was using HDR with no Scanlines for a PS2 game. I saw it on Reddit, and I was like, huh. That's what kind of got me thinking about all this stuff and what led to me doing all these tests and recordings and examples. Thought it was quite interesting. So, alright. Hope you found this interesting, informative, helpful. I am very curious to hear your thoughts on if you use this feature and how you use it. Are there particular presets you like more? Do you find yourself using HDR without Scanlines for certain consoles? I'm curious, because I'm going to start digging with this feature more and more often. So let me know in the comments below. I am genuinely curious. And of course, thanks for joining today. If you found the video helpful or informative, please feel free to subscribe. Continue growing the channel. We passed 730 subscribers most recently. It's incredible growth. I love it. We've also got the Discord server live now. You can join there, get videos like this one before they go live to YouTube. We've also got this giveaway thing to celebrate the launch of this Discord server. You join the channel. I'm going to set an end date. Haven't thought of it just yet, but I'm going to put it here when I do. We're doing a giveaway of this Super Mario Bros. Movie, a digital copy of it, a code that I have that I can give out to someone that wins a sweepstakes. So, yay! Thanks for joining me today. Have a great rest of your day.